Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, as you can see, this is a completed setup on the car. I thought I was filming before, but what ended up happening was the video that I was recording from earlier from the introduction, it didn't save. So, this is a little bit of introduction. These are Bono Specialty hoses. I'm going to put the link in the description below. And the reason why I decided to change them out, one was durability, two was they look great, and three was because of this hose from the T that broke off last time. I'm not sure if you can pick it up, but it eliminates the plastic T, which is located right there. So I ended up buying these from him. They were around $250 shipped, and I got the last red color. These are build to order, so how it works is, since it's just a small company, he has to get a certain number of pre-orders, and once that happens, then he can send it to the manufacturer, and then that's how he's able to, produce more hoses. So the more clients he gets, the faster and quicker the hoses get built. I think he had only 2 colors left, and I was gonna get black ones, but I was thinking about it. Black is kind of dull, and it won't really go with the engine bay. I wanted to make the engine bay a little bit brighter, so I got the red ones. I think he has lime green, and I forgot what the other color was. But you can choose any color you want, which is kind of cool. Like I said, check out his Instagram. So as you continue the video, it's going to be a little bit choppy in the beginning, because like I said, I lost part of the video. So basic hand tools that I didn't go over. Hopefully the other videos will capture it, but I'll know it when I see in the editing. But I mean, it was just pretty much, flathead screwdrivers, a pick to take the hoses out, and I think that's in the video. And that's pretty just basic hand tools, taking your time, don't be in a rush, and that's pretty much it. It's really basic, very easy. So yeah, so enjoy the video. So I took off this top hose right here that connects to the radiator on the top. I haven't taken the bottom one off, which is going to be more of a pain to get. But what I ended up doing was grabbing some grease. I mean, this thing is rusty as fuck. I grabbed some 100% silicone grease and started adding this stuff on the tube, so it can make it a lot easier to get if something ever happens. This is the old one right here from Napa. That was replaced a long time ago. I think the original owner did it. Seeing it, literally, it's almost a little bit longer, but it's alright. I'm about to put it in right now. It's a little longer. Okay, so here's what the progress I've been making. So started taking all the rest of the hoses out. I already got one in. That one right there looks great. It went in easy, obviously, with the grease. So what I ended up doing was, now I'm attacking the hardest ones, which is those. See if I can see them. So what I ended up doing was getting a flathead screwdriver, but coming in from this side, because the way it was angled. See, so the way it was angled, I grabbed my hand on this side, and I started to get it from over here, which will give you more room. And also, I ended up using this tool right here with this size hook to get it loose. Now you have to be very careful when you're doing this, because since this is the heater core, you can break those tubes right there. I'm in the process of taking out the rest, the bottom one, off. And just to let you know, there's a bracket. Let me see. There's a bracket down there. See that with the hole right there on the top left, and that size is 932 with an extension like this. And I'm gonna keep working at this. I totally forgot I was filming a video and lost track of time, but just making more steps so I can finish this. Okay, so there's a little issue with the filming. The camcorder stopped working. I didn't notice. So this is what I did. As you can see, I did a lot of stuff. Now on this one right here, for the heater core tubes, since I changed the heater core tubes, I aligned it purposefully like this, so I can get with the flathead screwdriver from this side of the car. So I'm standing on this side, and these from that side, and that's how I was able to get it off. And also using these are fucking clutch, man. Right here, this one especially, this one works, and especially if you're going on that side, buy yourself some of these. You're gonna struggle if you don't have that, I'm telling you right now. And so that's how I was able to get out those. Now also there's a 10 down here, because it's gonna connect to this bracket since I already took it out. This is the old one, obviously. There's a bolt that goes right through here, and see right there, that's the bracket. This is the old tank. I still haven't decided if I'm gonna change it out. I have a new tank. I thought it was leaking, but I just want to have everything updated with new system. I've heard bad issues with the new tanks, that they leak and that they're hit or miss. Back to this because I totally forgot. Let's say you don't have the heater core hoses, you don't have them like this, and you had them like this from the factory since you didn't change them out. I suggest taking your wiper motor off. I know it's probably going to be extra work to do it, but it'll save you a bunch of headache, unless you have to find somebody with like small hands to get down there somehow. But I mean, I have some huge ass fucking mittens right here, so that's why I had to get it from this side. But we purposely, like I said, angle these so I can get them from this side, and I'm gonna reinstall it the same way. So right now I cleaned up everything. I put in grease, fellas. Put in grease on the fittings. Trust me, it makes everything a lot easier. Let me go get the extra parts so I can continue filming, and I'll line up everything and go for pieces. So obviously this is the top one. This is the bottom one with the heater I'm pretty sure it's called heater control valve. So what I'm going to do is see if I can, because I know these are a pain in the ass to get inside of here from this. So I'm going to see if I can actually take these off, because the first time we try to take these off, trust me, it'll take you time to take it out. But let me see what I can do. If not, the easiest thing to do would probably just connect this, put this back on, zip tie it, put the bracket somewhere else, and just zip tie it outside of the bracket. That'll save a whole bunch of time and a whole bunch of headache. But let me see what the easiest thing is to do and how easy / difficult it is to take these out. Also with this bracket, and I'll be right. Okay, so I put the 2 lines back in. That's my new tank. Very simple. Like I said, I use grease on the fittings. Put the bottom tube in first, and there's only one way you can put these tubes in. There's a larger diameter on the bottom and the smaller diameter on top, and this is how it goes. People so they go get confused. Top is top, bottom is bottom. And like I said, if you can see, let's see if I can get it. See how I arranged the two. So now I can get it from this side, from the driver's side, with the flathead screwdriver, and that'd make it a lot easier in case you got to change the heater cores or the lines again or something like that. So Also, I decided I'm gonna install, let me focus, this new one. I'm not sure where these are made, but I heard horror stories about these new tanks. They do look pretty, but um, compared to that, but that one works. So I'm gonna give it a go. Hopefully everything works. This is my daily driver. Hopefully I don't fuck it up some way somehow. But like I said, these are hit and miss. It doesn't matter where you buy them from. This is actually even a GM part number, but they still leak. And also, people get confused about this, but you see the sensor right here? You can't take this out. Let me see if I can focus. These sensors, you cannot take them out. They're built into the system. And the way the connection is, which is right here, don't mind the rust, there's a float inside, and you can hear it. Well, not that, it's a car passing by, but let me see. So when you hear, I'm not sure if you can pick it up on the camera, but there's a float inside, and that's what measures it in. And sometimes when you get a low coolant light and the light doesn't go away, that's what some people knock. Like, they'll hit it and then the float will go back down. But you know, that's another video. But like I said, I'm gonna put in the new tank. Oh, I forgot to mention too, the kit did not come with fittings. You know, the fittings I had I've been using the old ones, but those are not old, but old/new. Same thing with this. I bought these. They don't come with a kit, so just you buy a variety of assortments, and also just to have something just in case. So I'm gonna continue with this and go from there. So I have everything buttoned up. The only thing I have to do now is adding coolant. Just another tip for, you see all the way down there, straight ahead. If you look at the hose clamp fitting, I purposely did that because you can get a long flathead screwdriver, and that would actually make it a lot easier. You have to reach underneath the car. So I tightened up everything. I haven't really adjusted everything on this side. I didn't use the brackets. I just used a little heat protection because these lines are the hoses are really stiff. So I mean, I'll probably zip tie them out of the way, but I didn't use the original brackets. They're too thick. The hoses are too thick to go inside these holes. There's probably a way to do it, but I didn't have time to mess around with that or get bigger brackets. But like I said, you can use whatever color. I'm gonna use red zip ties. You're not even gonna notice it. So I'm gonna add in the coolant, check for any leaks, and then go from there, and I'll come back. All right, so I just started it up. So far, no leaks. Here's with the new tank. I barely added coolant. Probably not even half of this. I know it's gonna take in more. Right now I'm bleeding out the air in the system. So far it's going down bit by bit, and we'll just go from there. So far no leaks on the first try. So far it's looking good. So I'll come back as soon as it gets quieter. I'm not sure if you can probably hear me or not, but so far so good. Now I'm just bleeding the system. There's a trick to this. Well, not necessarily a trick, but there's an easy method so you won't get air in your system. As the car's running, before the fans turn on, make sure you have the bleeder screw somewhat open, not too open all the way, but just enough so air is escaping. Once you see coolant coming out of there, you close it, and then once you close it, check when the fans are going to kick on. The moment the fans kick on, reopen that same valve, make the air escape a little bit, and then once you start seeing the coolant drop down, like right now, there has like no coolant in there right now, then you shut the motor off and you do what I'm doing right now. You bleed out the air, the remaining air in the system, like that. This is probably the best way. Instead of spending days and wondering how come your coolant level keeps going up and down, this is the fastest way, best way to do it. So I'm gonna keep bleeding out the air in the system, and cleaning up my mess. But everything works fucking great, man. I love it. I'll be right back. Okay, so it took me around maybe 2.5 hours to do everything, you know, taking my time, greasing up everything, putting all the fittings in the correct position, so just in case something happens, I can take the hoses off easily, put in the new tank. So far so good. I bled the system. It's blazing hot. I bought 2 of these Dex Cools, and they already come pre-distilled, or you know, with a 50-50 mix. So far so good. I'm gonna keep everything up to date. I'm just gonna give an honest review. You know, this is my daily driver, so if either of these things go out, you know, I'll give my honest feedback of what actually does happen. So, you know, so far so good. These hoses are pretty good. They line up everywhere is good. And here's the thing that you're probably considering. I didn't use the brackets on any of them. I'm gonna zip tie. I have red zip ties. I'm gonna put a zip tie right there, so it's not gonna go anywhere. But they're so stiff that it'd be damn near impossible for these things to hit anything. I mean, you don't even need the brackets. I mean, you can get away with just using the same color zip ties and hide them everywhere if you don't want to, you know, seem exposed. But they're great. The hoses are very good. Shout out to Bono Specialties. Like I said, I put the link in the description below and his Instagram. And don't forget to also follow me, 96_Kings with the Z. More videos will be on the way. Actually, one idea is changing out the spark plugs and spark plug wires, which is going to be next. I believe the original owner, in the manual, he wrote down that he changed them at around 75,000 miles. So I'm going to do that next. I got to order all the parts, and we'll just go from there. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Put a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time.